Destiny is a hard game to start. You have no clue what weapons to get and also what to farm, which can seem frightening or difficult to new players. Don't worry though, because in today's video, I'll be telling you the top 10 weapons in my opinion that are the best options for free-to-play players or new players in Destiny. Make sure to subscribe, like, or share the video, since one of the three is a great way to support the channel, and without further ado, let's get into number 10. At the number 10 spot, we have the Edge Transit Heavy Grenade Launcher. The Edge Transit is a very powerful and potent heavy weapon, boasting some of the best damage in the game currently, while also being boosted by the artifact this season to make it even better on top of that. On my Edge Transit, I have the role of Envious Assassin and Bait and Switch, which I have used multiple times to help me clear difficult endgame content, such as Master Raids or the dungeons. As you can see, the damage of Edge Transit against bosses is extremely high, but I suck at the game, so I died pretty fast in Aggressive Avarice to show this. Overall, I would say that for new or free-to-play players, that this is one of the first weapons that you will want to farm and one of the easiest to get, coming from the Onslaught game mode. You can also help increase the drop chance of getting one by talking to Zavala and attuning to Edge Transit, increasing the drop chance to a whopping 60% increase. Also, side note, the shine you see on mine is only cosmetic and was a limited time reward for people who played during the Into the Light update. Anyways, on to number 9. Okay, at number 9, we had the BXR Battle. This is like the Walmart version of the Halo battle rifle, with even the name being a reference to the old button combo in Halo. I'm gonna be honest though, I just searched that up because the game is older than me, but I love Halo so much, and my dad used to play it all the time. Anyways, it's a craftable solar pulse rifle, meaning that it gets some pretty good perks that are perfect for all types of builds that you want to use. It being an energy pulse rifle allows you to use it either a high damaging heavy weapon or exotic kinetic weapons such as Wither Horde or Izanagi's Burden. Wait. Go back to Wither Horde. On my battler, I have Demolitionist and Incandescent to get myself some grenade energy while also being able to do great ad clear. This pulse rifle can be earned through the Dares of Eternity activity and also at the chest by Xur when you have enough treasure keys. I will say though that as you get better weapons or even DLCs, that there are better weapons like the Nullify Pulse Rifle from Salvation's Edge or the Oversoul Edict from Crota's End. But for new players, it's a very good starter pulse rifle for builds and ad clear. Speaking of Dares of Eternity, however, that leads us straight into our number 8 spot. Coming in at the number 8 spot, we have the Half-Truths or the Other Half Heavy Sword. Both of these swords are craftable and come from the Dares of Eternity activities, so you can farm it with the battler. The perk that makes it different from any sword you have is that it can roll with the Eager Edge perk. Eager Edge allows for some of the fastest movement possible in Destiny, but these two swords can also be decent options for DPS, coming with perks like Frenzy or Vorpal Weapon. Some of the movement you can learn is Well Skating, where you cancel your Well of Radiance with your sword, but keep your momentum. For me, this is just a fun sword that you can use if you have a free spot and are doing chill activities or grinding bounties, so you can feel like you're moving faster. And with that, let's head into number 7, which is the Riptide.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Oh, Riptide, where do I even begin? This fusion rifle has to be, or is, the best gun in the game. Whoever at Bungie designed Riptide just knew that it had to be the best fusion rifle, because chill clip on a rapid fire used to be really good. It still is good even after the nerfs where it takes 3 bursts. Like, that didn't do anything. It's still like a very strong fusion rifle no matter what. And I can already hear people going, but scatter signal, it has a higher damage in the kinetic fusion rifle spot. You can't get it unless you have Lightfall, and plus it takes forever for the Wish Ender mission or whatever the mission's called to come into rotation. I'm not waiting 5 weeks. On my Riptide, I have Chill Clip Feeding Frenzy, meaning that I could do pretty good ad clear with Chill Clip while also being able to reload pretty fast because of Feeding Frenzy. Not only that, in endgame PvE, Chill Clip is able to stun overload champions, which is very useful for GMs or Master Raids. It makes it so you don't have to run an overload weapon, or if there's a gun that you don't like in the artifact that stuns overloads, you don't have to use it. You can just run Riptide because it has Chill Clip. On top of being able to stun overloads, it can stun unstoppables with just 3 shots, which makes it one of the best options for endgame PvE, being able to stun 2 out of the 3 champions. Or if you're on solar, it can stun all 3. All in all, Riptide is just a very great fusion rifle. I honestly would say that this thing, if you plan on staying in this game and continuing to play it, is a must grab alongside of the Edge Transit. Riptide, Sunshot, and Edge Transit has to be like a very good starter DPS, like high damage build. Riptide is earnable from Crucible rank ups or at the end of matches when you complete them. You can also earn engrams now in private matches, so if you have friends, you could definitely just play private matches, have fun, get engrams, and then go back to shacks and decrypt them. Now let's go into number 6, which is the Mountaintop. The Mountaintop is a strong kinetic grenade launcher that is truly one of a kind. Originally being a virtual weapon exclusive to the Crucible and being so powerful in its original release that it is considered one of the main weapons that contributed to weapon sunsetting and beyond light. It recently re-released with a new coat of paint and random perks, also bringing with it a new type of grenade launcher frame, the micro missile frame. The Mountaintop is a great grenade launcher for dealing damage to mini bosses and bosses, but also being able to rocket jump. Yeah, rocket jump. All in all, it's a powerful weapon, and just like Edge Transit, can also be farmed from Onslaught, and also focused at Zavala. Up next is another great damage weapon. In the number 5 spot, it is the Crux Termination. The Crux Termination is some of the best perks for rocket launcher and is severely underrated. Being a rocket launcher, this means it has competition with other rockets such as the Apex Predator and also the Cold Comfort rocket. But this rocket launcher can roll with the exact same perks as these rockets, minus bait and switch, which might sound bad, but Explosive Light is a little bit less damage, but it's a lot easier to use, especially for new players that don't know how to do like the intense bait and switch rotations. The only difference is that Crux Termination is a little bit harder to get because it comes from the world loot pool, meaning any legendary engram can have it with tons of weapons currently in the loot pool. I believe Banshee can have this gun as an option for focusing during some weeks, but you have to check in every week just to check. Roles I would suggest are Explosive Light with Reconstruction or Envious Assassin. Envious Assassin's a little bit less reliable than Reconstruction just because of the fact that Envious needs kills, but it can store more ammo in it when enhanced. And with that, let's get into our number 4 spot, which is the Forbearance Grenade Launcher. I feel like there were 3 eras of overpowered legendary weapons in Destiny. The first one being the rise of the pinnacle weapons, being some of the most oppressive and overused guns from the start of Forsaken to the end of Shadowkeep, where they met their fate and were sunset for good. Then the second rise of legendaries was what was left over after sunsetting, and all the future guns. Some examples of standout guns from the Beyond Light era are the Cartesian Coordinate, Heritage, Succession, and Chroma Rush. All these guns were seen as some of the best weapons during their time in Beyond Light, and also were eventually re-released, like examples of Heritage and Succession being craftable from Deep Stone Crypt, or also earnable from Onslaught. Then finally, there's the rise of crafted weapons in the Witch Queen. Most weapons that were released and craftable during the Witch Queen are still viable to this day. One weapon that has truly stood the test of time for this is the Forbearance Waveframe Grenade Launcher. Forbearance, when it came out, was the best ad clear weapon that's ever come in Destiny, getting 2 extremely powerful perks being Ambitious Assassin and Chain Reaction. These 2 perks work together so perfectly that Forbearance got Chain Reaction nerfed for all special weapons. I will be honest though, some of the waveframe changes from Final Swipe do decrease this weapon's potency by a little, but Forbearance is still an amazing ad-clear grenade launcher. It drops from 2 places, the Vow the Disciple raid from the Witch Queen, or from Onslaught. The one from Onslaught has newer perks, but still has the same god roll of Ambitious Assassin and Chain Reaction. Either one you decide on will be a perfect addition to your arsenal and will be very helpful with lots of activities in Destiny. At number 3, we have the Hammerhead Heavy Machine Gun. Originally releasing in Forsaken with the Black Armory expansion, the Hammerhead is a great machine gun that can compete with other LMGs from endgame content, such as raids, dungeons, or Grandmaster Nightfalls. Hammerhead can roll with perks such as Rewind Rounds, 4 times the Charm, and Envious Assassin in the 3rd column, and Onslaught, Target Lock, Killing Tally, or Desperate Measures in the 4th column. I have a hard time picking whether to use the Commemoration for Deep Stone Crypt or use the Hammerhead, just because of how good it is. The fact that it is able to keep up with endgame content weapons is a really good sign of how good this gun is. Well, unless for this one. Sucks that the gun doesn't get any good rolls for being a GM drop. I have advice though for new players, do not go into a raid using the Hammerhead for damage. Most LMGs are made to do ad clear, not kill bosses. But the gun comes from Onslaught and is very easy to farm, just like all the other Onslaught weapons on this list. Anyways, on to number 2. In the number 2 spot, we have the Perfect Pitch SMG that you can buy at any time thanks to the exotic kiosk at the tower. This can be found in between the 2 vaults, and the gun can be found under the Legacy Gear tab, costing only 75,000 Glimmer, which is a steal. This SMG is a newer and easier to get version of the Callus Mini tool. The Perfect Pitch has 2 great perks that you can use for ad clear, being the Incandescent perk, which spreads Scorched at nearby enemies, but it can also come with Onslaught, which can increase the gun's RPM to shoot even faster than it already does. Overall, this makes it a helpful and easy gun to get when you're just starting the game that you can get straight away. And finally, let's go to our number 1 spot. And at number 1, we have the Midnight Coup hand cannon from Onslaught. This hand cannon is one of the best kinetic 140s in the game for PvE. I'm so sorry, Fatebringer. You were my favorite up until Midnight Coup came and took me away from you. Originally releasing in 2017 from the Leviathan raid, it was a very strong gun to use with Coldheart in Vanilla D2. It would unfortunately meet its fate when it was sunset at the start of Beyond Light, where it would sit in people's collections never to be seen again. Up until its re-release with the Light Into the Light update, where it is one of the best gun sees in PvE right now in the kinetic slot. The Midnight Coup can run with perks that can be useful for ad clear such as Rampage and Firefly, or come with perks to help you take down bigger enemies with kinetic tremors or explosive payload. I have 2 rules, one for ad clear, which has Rampage and Firefly, and one for when I do harder endgame content such as masquerades and dungeons with explosive payload and kinetic tremors. The Midnight Coup is a great gun for all content and can be used with so many other weapons. I personally love to run Midnight Coup, Fire of One, and also the Edge Transit Grenade Launcher. Well, that's the whole list. Make sure if you made it to the end to leave a like, subscribe, or comment. Anything helps, and I would love feedback to make my videos more entertaining. Anyways, good luck getting your rolls, and as always, may RNG be in your favor.
So why do you think you're in this room today?
He took everything from me. My fame, my power, my glory.